Hello students, this is Bhagya sir. Today we are going to do figures of speech. As you know, figures of speech occupy a very important place in the formation of poetry. We are going to discuss figures of speech in two different parts, of which we are going to discuss part 1 today. In the topic, we shall understand the definition of the particular figure of speech with examples. First of all, let's know what is figure of speech. Now, literary or poetic device, or we call it figures of speech, is a technique a writer uses to produce a special effect in his writing. अपनी लैंग्वेज को असरदार और तारदार बनाने के लिए राइटर के द्वारा जो एक स्पेशल टेक्निक यूज की जाती है, उस टेक्निक को इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज में यूज ऑफ फिगर्स ऑफ स्पीच बोलते हैं. A figure of speech is a word or phrase that possesses a separate meaning from its literal definition. Figure of speech एक वर्ड के फॉर्म में या ग्रुप ऑफ वर्ड्स मीन्स फ्रेज के फॉर्म में लैंग्वेज में यूज किया जाता है. As spices are used to enhance the taste of food, so are figures of speech to enhance the taste, or we call it meaning of the sentence. इसको समझें कि जो महत्व रसोई में मसालों का होता है, वही महत्व फिगर ऑफ स्पीच का पोएट्री फॉर्मेशन में होता है. मसाले जैसे रसोई का स्वाद बढ़ाते हैं, वैसे फिगर ऑफ स्पीच कविता में वाक्यों के मीनिंग को धारदार बनाते हैं. इन हिंदी और गुजराती लैंग्वेज फिगर ऑफ स्पीच आर नोन एज अलंकार. अलंकार का मतलब होता है आभूषण, विच मीन्स ज्यूल, विच एड टू द ब्यूटी ऑफ द वेयर. जैसे गहने पहनने के बाद जो निखार ब्यूटी अभी या रूप में आता है, वही निखार फिगर ऑफ स्पीच का यूज करने के बाद पोएट्री में और लैंग्वेज में आ जाता है. इन सिंपल टर्म्स figure of speech are used to decorate the language. Let's understand our first figure of speech. It is alliteration. The definition says the repetition of consonant sound at the start of two or more words is known as alliteration. Now in English language, in the alphabet there are 26 letters. 5 are vowel and they are A, E, I, O, U. Remaining 21 are consonant sound. Now, definition says that the repetition of consonant sound जो होता है उसका repetition, how many times? In 2 or more words is known as alliteration. Let us understand this definition with the help of examples. First example says, come and clean the chaos in your closet. The consonant sound are come, clean, chaos and closet. The sound of k is repeated more than 2 times and it becomes alliteration. Second example, go and gather the green leaves on the grass. The consonant sound go, gather, green and grass. Sound of g is repeated more than 2 times and this is alliteration. Please put away your paints and practice the piano. Please put paints, practice piano. The sound of P is repeated. So, this is alliteration. The sound of consonant is repeated more than 2 times. Second is repetition. It is known as anaphorion. Now, what is repetition? Repetition is a literary device that repeats the same words or phrases a few times to make an idea clearer and more memorable. जैसे alliteration में sound repeat होता है, वैसे यहाँ word या group of words repeat होते हैं. Let us understand this with the help of example. The first example, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. Now, these lines are taken from the poem written by Robert Frost, Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. Here you can see the two group of words are repeated, miles to go before I sleep and miles to go before I sleep, and it becomes repetition. Second example says, if you think you can do it. So you can do it repeated 2 times and the figure of speech becomes repetition. Let's meet a simile now. A simile is a figure of speech that makes a comparison showing similarities between two different objects. It is a kind of comparison between two different objects. The words of comparison as and like are used. Now this is the special feature of simile. Comparison between two different objects is made with the words like as and like. Examples: our soldiers are as brave as lions. Here soldiers are compared with lions. The common point of comparison is bravery here. The word as is used to show the comparison and the sentence becomes simile. My love is like a red, red rose. In one of the poems, poet says that his lady love is like a red, red rose. Now red rose is a symbol of beauty and poet said that her beloved is as beautiful as the red rose. So the common point of comparison is beauty and the word like is used to make the comparison. So it becomes simile. He is as funny as a monkey. The person is compared with monkey and the common point of comparison is being funny. The word as is used to make the comparison and it is simile. He is as cunning as a fox. The person here is compared with a fox and the common point of comparison is cunningness. The words of comparison as are used, so it is simile. He fought like a lion in the battlefield. The warrior is compared with a lion and again the common point of comparison is bravery and the word of comparison like is used, so it also becomes simile. Next is metaphor. Metaphor is a word or phrase that is used in an imaginative way to show that somebody or something has the same quality as another thing. Let us make it more clear. A metaphor states that one thing is another thing. Now metaphor also compares one thing with the other without using the words of comparison such as like, as, so. जैसे simile में comparison होता है, but at the same time the words of comparison like, as and so वहाँ use किए जाते हैं. Metaphor also is a comparison, but the words of comparison like, as or so are not seen in the sentence. Let us understand it with the help of examples. The snow is a white blanket. जैसे बर्फ से आच्छादित पहाड़ियाँ होती हैं, जैसे सफेद चादर बिछाई गई हो ऐसी लगती है पहाड़ियाँ. तो here the snow is directly compared with blanket without using the word like, as or so, and this is metaphor. He is a shining star. Now he is said to be the shining star. Word of comparison are not used here and it becomes metaphor. Her long hair was a flowing golden river. उसके long hair को बहते हुए golden river के साथ compare किया गया है without using the word of comparison. The earth is our mother. यहाँ earth को mother बताया गया है without using the word of comparison and the sentence becomes metaphor. He is a lion in the battlefield. Now see the difference between the simile and metaphor. Simile में बताया गया था he is like a lion in the battlefield, जबकि यहाँ उसको डायरेक्ट ही lion बताया गया है he is a lion in the battlefield. Word of comparison like, as or so are absent here and the sentence is metaphor. Number 5 is personification. Personification is a figure of speech where non-living objects are described to seem like people, or we call it living being. यहाँ नॉन लिविंग थिंग को लिविंग बीइंग की जो क्वालिटी होती है वो दी जाती है. In short, personification means representing a non-human thing as if it were human. Personification gives human traits and qualities such as emotions, desires, sensation, gestures and speech to the non-living thing. यहाँ जो ट्रेट्स और क्वालिटीज बताई गई है जैसे इमोशन, डिजायर, सेंसेशन, जेस्चर और स्पीच, ये जो लिविंग बीइंग के जो क्वालिटीज है और नॉन लिविंग थिंग को दिए जाते हैं. Let us understand this with the help of examples. First example says lightning danced across the sky. Lightning मतलब बिजली को आकाश में डांस करते हुए बताया गया है. Now dancing is the quality of the living being which is given to the non-living lightning. The wind howled in the night. यहाँ wind को मतलब तेजी से चलती हुई हवा को howling मतलब गर्जना करते हुए दिखाया गया है रात में. And howling actually is the quality of living being which is given to the non-living wind. The car complained as the key was roughly turned in its ignition. Car is non-living thing and making complaint is the quality of living being. Now this quality of living being, complaining, is given to non-living car and it is personification. Rita heard the last piece of pie calling her name. Now piece of pie जो केक का एक टुकड़ा होता है वो नॉन लिविंग है, लेकिन रीटा हर्ड, रीटा ने उसको सुना कि वो टुकड़ा उसको बुला रहा है, तो ये पर्सोनिफिकेशन बनता है. My alarm clock yells at me to get out of bed every morning. अलार्म क्लॉक जो नॉन लिविंग थिंग है वो येल कर रही है. येल करने का मतलब है चीखना. तो ये जो चीखने की क्वालिटी है जो लिविंग बीइंग की है वो यहाँ नॉन लिविंग अलार्म क्लॉक को दी गई है. सो दिस इज पर्सोनिफिकेशन वेयर द क्वालिटी ऑफ लिविंग बीइंग या द ट्रेट्स ऑफ लिविंग बीइंग आर गिवन टू द नॉन लिविंग थिंग्स. Number 6 is apostrophe. Now let's understand what is apostrophe. An apostrophe is a figure of speech in which some absent or non-existent person or thing is addressed as a present and capable of understanding. Apostrophe में कोई absent जो absent व्यक्ति है या non-existent जिसका अस्तित्व नहीं है ऐसे पर्सन या थिंग को डायरेक्टली एड्रेस किया जाता है एज इफ दैट नॉन लिविंग थिंग इज प्रेजेंट देयर एंड कैपेबल ऑफ हियरिंग और अंडरस्टैंडिंग. इन पोएट्री एन एपोस्ट्रोफे इज अ फिगर ऑफ स्पीच इन विच द पोएट एड्रेसेस एन एब्सेंट पर्सन, एन एब्स्ट्रैक्ट आइडिया और अ थिंग. पोएट यहाँ एब्सेंट पर्सन को, एब्सेंट आइडिया को या किसी भी चीज जो उसके सामने नहीं है प्रेजेंट उसको एड्रेस करता है, डायरेक्टली उसके साथ बात करने की कोशिश करता है. एग्जाम्पल से इसको क्लियरली समझते हैं. ट्विंकल ट्विंकल लिटिल स्टार हाउ आई वंडर व्हाट यू आर. यहाँ पोएट जो है वो एक छोटे से चमकते हुए ट्विंकलिंग करते स्टार को बोल रहा है कि आई वंडर व्हाट यू आर, मैं आश्चर्यचकित हूं कि तुम कौन हो. यहाँ स्टार जो पोएट को सुनने ही वाला नहीं है, उसके सामने खड़ा नहीं है, अस्तित्व नहीं है उसका, उसको डायरेक्टली एड्रेस करता है, उसके साथ बातचीत करने की कोशिश कर रहा है. ओ होली नाइट. नाउ नाइट इज नॉट गोइंग टू लिसन टू द पोएट बट ही एड्रेसेस द नाइट कॉलिंग होली. ओ डेथ बी नॉट प्राउड. यहाँ पोएट डायरेक्टली डेथ को एड्रेस करता है जो उसको सुनने वाला नहीं है. Oh, pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth. Piece of earth actually is non-living thing. उसको जमीन से उखाड़ दिया गया है और पोएट पार्डन्स, पोएट वहां माफी चाहता है उस ब्लीडिंग अर्थ के टुकड़े से. रोल ऑन दाउ डीप एंड डार्क ब्लू ओशन. रोल, यहाँ पोएट ब्लू ओशन को एड्रेस करता है और उसको रोल करने के लिए, उसकी मौजों को बाहर आने के लिए और वापस जाने के लिए कहता है. सो इट बिकम्स एपोस्ट्रोफे where all the non-living things, twinkling star, night, death, piece of earth या blue ocean को पोएट ऐसे बात करता है जैसे वो लिविंग बीइंग हो. Number 7 is antithesis. Antithesis, which literally means opposite, is a rhetoric device in which two opposite ideas are put together in a sentence to achieve a contrasting effect. Now let us understand the definition. Opposite जो words होते हैं या opposite ideas होते हैं उनको यहाँ एक ही sentence में रखा जाता है और उसको contrasting effect देने की कोशिश की जाती है. Antithesis is the use of contrasting concepts, words or sentences with a parallel grammatical structure. Now, what is parallel grammatical structure? वो हम एग्जाम्पल के जरिए समझते हैं. See the grammatical structure. Man proposes, God disposes. मनुष्य जो है वो प्रपोज करता रहता है, भगवान से मांगता रहता है, and God disposes, और भगवान जो है उसको नकारते रहते हैं. Second sentence, to err is human, to forgive divine. बोल करना वो मनुष्य का गुण है, तो forgive मतलब माफ कर देना, divine मतलब भगवान का गुण है. Many are called but few are chosen. Now two opposite words are many and few here. बहुत सारे लोगों को बुलाया गया था लेकिन उसमें से कुछ लोगों को ही चुना गया. The sentence says that. Speech is silver, but silence is gold. Two opposite words are speech and silence. Speech is silver and silence is gold. So the opposite words are used with a parallel grammatical structure like proposes and disposes, to err, to forgive, many and few, speech and silence. And this is antithesis. Number 8 is oxymoron. An oxymoron is a figure of speech which is made up of two or more words that seem to be opposite to each other or actually are opposite. Now they seem to be opposite या actually opposite, यहाँ उन words को sentence में use किया जाता है. Let's make it more clear. In the word oxymoron, oxy is the Greek word that means sharp, while moron means dull. Now sharp and dull are both carry the different meaning, and oxymoron is a one word which carry these two words, oxy and moron, sharp and dull. In oxymoron, two opposite words are kept simultaneously, one after the other. Now this is the basic difference between antithesis and oxymoron. It is not necessary in antithesis that two words are kept together, but in oxymoron it is necessary that two words are kept simultaneously, that is one after the other. Let us understand with the help of examples. My sister and I had a friendly fight over the lipstick. Now friend and fight are two different words. वैसे दो friends के बीच में fight होना generally possible नहीं है, but here it is said friendly fight. So two different words carrying the different meaning, friend and fight, are kept in the same sentence simultaneously. You look awfully pretty in that coat. Being awful and being pretty are two contrasting ideas, but they are kept simultaneously here awfully pretty, and the sentence is oxymoron. Sarah ate the whole piece of pie. Whole and piece. Two contrasting words are used here, one after the other, and the sentence is oxymoron. Life of Mahatma Gandhi is an open secret to all. Being open and being secret are two opposite ideas, and they are kept here in the form of one after the another, saying that life of Mahatma Gandhi is an open secret to all, and the sentence is oxymoron. The new kittens enjoyed being alone together. See the two words, alone and together. Now, to create the great poetic effect, the poet has used these two words simultaneously. The new kittens enjoyed being alone together, and this is oxymoron. He was the wisest fool in the town. Being wise and being fool are two contrasting ideas, but they are kept in the form of oxymoron here. Wisest fool, and the sentence is oxymoron. Number 9 is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a poetic structure of words to convey how something sounds. Actually, onomatopoeia carries the sound. This is what the sentence says. Let's understand it better. Onomatopoeia is the process of creating a word that phonetically imitates, resembles or suggests the sound that it describes. जिस साउंड को डिस्क्राइब किया जाता है वर्ड के जरिए, वो वर्ड ही साउंड वहां प्रोड्यूस करता है. That is the speciality of onomatopoeia. Examples are here. The buzzing of bees irritates me. Now, buzzing actually is the sound made by the bees when they are howling around. It is not unusual for a dog to bark when visitors arrive. The word bark itself is a sound, and this becomes onomatopoeia. Silence your cell phone so that it does not beep during the movie. Now, beeping is the sound made by the cell phone, and the word itself creates the sound. The breeze collapsed, creating the tremendous boom. Now, the boom is itself a sound. When heavy object falls on the ground, it creates the sound of boom. So the word boom is used here in the form of sound. The bird chirp filled the empty night air. Chirping of the bird is actually the sound of the birds, and it is used here to create the sound of the birds. The race car zoomed past the finish line. Zooming is the sound made by the fast moving car, and the zoom is the sound itself. Number 10 is hyperbole. We call it exaggeration. Hyperbole, from a Greek word meaning excess, is a figure of speech that uses extreme exaggeration to make a point or show emphasis. यहाँ सेंटेंस में exaggeration और we call it overstatement ऐसी बात बताई जाती है कि हम मान न सके, so it is hyperbole, exaggeration, or we call it overstatement. Hyperbole, pronounced hyperbole, is a figure of speech in which an author or speaker purposely and obviously exaggerates to an extreme. यहाँ exaggeration किया जाता है या बात को उस एक्सट्रीम पॉइंट तक ले जाया जाता है जिसको मानना हमारे लिए मुश्किल बनता है. An extravagant statement or figure of speech not intended to be taken literally. Examples के जरिए समझते हैं. What is hyperbole? She cried and filled the river with tears. कोई इतना रोएगा नहीं कि उसके आंसुओं से तालाब भर जाए, but to make his point clear and to show the intensity of her crying, the poet has used this exaggerated statement saying she cried and filled the river with tears. I haven't seen her since ages. जैसे बोलते हैं कि उसको देखे सदियां बीत गई ना, सदी में 100 साल होते हैं, तो यहाँ एग्जाजरेशन किया जाता है कि आई हैवंट सीन हर सिंस एजेस, मैंने तो उसको सदियों से देखा नहीं है. इट इज लाइक दैट. द टॉप ऑफ द ट्री टचेस द हेवन. इन वन ऑफ द पोएम्स द पोएट सेड दैट द टॉप ऑफ द ट्री टचेस द हेवन. एक्चुअली कोई पेड़ इतना ऊंचा नहीं होता है कि वो आसमान को छू ले, बट टू शो हिज पॉइंट वेरी emphatically, the poet has used this exaggeration. He is as heavy as an elephant. कोई व्यक्ति एलिफेंट जितना हैवी नहीं हो सकता है, but to show his point more clearly, the poet has used this exaggeration. He is as heavy as an elephant. This is the end of part 1. Thanks for watching.